Welcome to the entire crypto fam. Today is Crypto News Alerts live podcast episode number 1118 of the Crypto News Alerts pod. And today is November 29th, 2022. Let's freaking go. I want to give everyone an opportunity to say hello in the live chat, and we'll get this show started in about 2 minutes. As you can see the countdown on your screen, Bitcoin has been holding strong at that 16,000 support, and many of the alts are currently breaking out. Let's freaking go. I want to give a shout out to Mikey Likes It, who says, good morning, JV and the fam. Good morning. Good to see ya. Matthew C says, I just smashed the like. I greatly appreciate your continued support, fam. Michael Volkman, welcome. Says, smash that thumbs up as if it's Sam Bankman-Fried's face itself. And welcome, Barry. I appreciate the support. He says, waiting for the best show on the day. Let's freaking go. Matthew C, always a pleasure, fam. And of course, Dan Drummond was popping. Eric, good to see you as well. He says, throw up that tweet so I can retweet it. Appreciate the retweets as always, as it helps out tremendously with the show and especially with the YouTube algorithm. Yeah. We will get started in about 1 more minute. Let's freaking go. I'll finish that cup of water and drink some more water. Keep hydrating. But yes, lots happening in the crypto market, lots to discuss today. Of course, we're going to be discussing what's trending. We'll be doing our market watch, Bitcoin technical analysis. We're going to be discussing some Chainlink technical analysis as well, with a potential Chainlink rally 25%, discussing Bitcoin accumulation at all-time highs, the latest what's going on with the FTX saga and debacle, including BlockFi suing FTX. I'm going to be sharing some bottom price predictions for the King crypto, as well as some cycle peaks. And of course, lots more. We're also going to be doing a live Q&A. So let's freaking get it. 30 seconds, we shall begin. Welcome everyone just tuning in the live chat. Good to see you, KB. J-Dub the Laker in the building. Welcome, BitBud. Always a pleasure. Family, good to see ya. We will get started in just a few more seconds. Let's freaking go. In today's show, we have lots to discuss, including Bitcoin shrugging off BlockFi and China protests as the Bitcoin price holds strong at $16,000. And here's an original quote: trust nobody, verify everything. That's the Bitcoin mantra, and totally applicable in real life. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Brutus killed Caesar, Judas killed Jesus, and Sam Bankman-Fried and the SEC killed millions retail investor dreams. Facts. Also in today's show, Chainlink eyes 25% rally ahead of Link's staking launch in December. That's right, Link's price could rally on speculations over Chainlink's Oracle services growth, coupled with a supportive technical pattern. I'll be breaking this down for you. Also in today's show, it's the non-whale Bitcoin investors breaking new Bitcoin accumulation records. That's right, Bitcoin addresses holding up to 10 BTC have been accumulating record amounts of Bitcoin in the aftermath of the FTX collapse. Also in today's show, FTX reportedly used Alameda's bank accounts to process customer funds. That's right, the former FTX CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried, in a conversation with Vox, admitted to using Alameda's banking facilities for FTX user deposits. Also in today's show, BlockFi sues FTX, scam Bankman-Fried over shares in Robinhood. That's right, BlockFi is demanding Bankman-Fried's investment company turn over its shares in Robinhood as collateral it agreed to pay as a part of the pledge agreement. Also in today's show, crypto veteran Bobby Lee reveals his Bitcoin price floor and says that bad actors in the industry should be flushed out. Also be breaking down his $250,000 cycle peak prediction as a throwback, which he shared last year. And we'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And with that being shared, I want to welcome everyone just tuning in to today's live show, a Crypto News Alerts podcast episode number 1118 of the Crypto News Alerts pod. Good morning. It is November 29th, 2022. And as usual, we have a lot to cover. So let's dive right in. And by the way, I am your host, JV. Checking out Coin 360. We can see the entire crypto market pumping back in the green, which is a great omen. Bitcoin up almost 2% for the day, trading above 16,400. 400 at the time of this recording. We have Ether up almost 5%, trading back above $1,200. Dogecoin up a whopping 10%, trading above 10 cents. And we also have Litecoin breaking out in the forest green, while Binance Coin, Polkadot, Solana are all in the green as well, including Chainlink, Uniswap, and the list goes on. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we can see the current crypto market cap sitting at $832 billion with about $47 billion in volume at the past 24 hours. Current Bitcoin dominance back on the decline at 37.8, with the Ether dominance at 17.8%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past 24 hours, we have XCN up 13%, trading at almost 4.3 cents, followed by Hobby Token up 14.5%, trading at $7.10, followed by Phantom up 10%, trading at 21.7 cents. And below that, we have Dogecoin, Chainlink, and Dash. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the past week, you can see literally a sea of green. Once again, a great omen for the altcoins, as we have cryptos such as HT up 45%, Ape up 34%, FTM up 27%, as well as CELO up 27%. And checking out one of my favorite indicators, it is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we are currently rated a 26 in fear, yesterday a 28, last week a 22 in extreme fear, and last month a 34 in fear. So there you have it. Welcome everyone just tuning in to today's live show. Lots to discuss. So let's dive right into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out what's happening. Bitcoin held crucial 16,000 support into November 29th as the bulls weathered the ongoing FTX fallout and macro triggers, which you can see here in the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart. Now, data from Cointelegraph Market Report and TradingView showed Bitcoin leaving lower levels untouched overnight. The Bitcoin/USD pair has seen a flash downturn after November 27th's weekly close, thanks to uncertainty from China over the COVID measures. And a recovery nonetheless took the market higher, with 16,500 coming into play at the time of this recording. And as Cointelegraph reported, traders as well as analysts have warned that it was all but essential to preserve the current support, with a violation opening up the road to $14,000 or lower. And for popular crypto trader Crypto Tony, he even felt comfortable going long Bitcoin on the day, quoting him here on Twitter. Flipping the EQ would be a safer long entry, but keeping this open with a tight stop loss is the best way for me. And in accompanying chart, identified support and resistance zones in play on the mid-range time frames, which you can see in this chart. Even fresh repercussions over the FTX debacle failed to dent Bitcoin's performance. Meanwhile, these came in the form of a bankruptcy filing and lawsuit from crypto lender BlockFi, which I'll be covering in great detail later in the show. And the latest in a chain reaction sparked by FTX going under. The news came alongside a surprise resumption of salary payments by the defunct exchange, quoting Van de Pop. Makes sense after this bounce, as we have created a higher low on Bitcoin and aiming at resistance again. He shared, and quoting him here, taking out the range between 16,500 and 16,800 would trigger continuation towards $18,000. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. Meanwhile, China woes cool ahead of the Fed Powell speech. China, meanwhile, formed a main macro focus on the day, with anti-lockdown protests impacting the market sentiment, nonetheless seeming to ease. Asian markets bounced back strongly, with the Hong Kong Hang Seng up 5.2%, as well as the Shanghai Composite Index gaining 2.3%, which you can see in this chart. And quoting Mohit Kumar, analyst at investment banking firm Jefferies, we do not expect China policy to publicly shift away from the zero COVID stance. However, we could see some easing of the policy privately and in localized areas. November 30th looks set to be the key trading day of the week, with Bitcoin's monthly close accompanied by a speech by Jerome Powell, chairman of the United States Federal Reserve. That's right, we have just one more day left in this month for November. Many were expecting an up-November, but very unfortunate. We'd have a very cynical November, to say the least, with a very negative price action overall in that crypto market, which you can obviously see as I just shared. And with that being shared, now I want to share with you an original quote I came up with last night. Trust nobody, verify everything. That is the Bitcoin mantra, and totally applicable in real life. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Brutus killed Caesar. Judas killed Jesus. Sam Bankman-Fried and the SEC killed millions of retail investor dreams. facts. And now I want to actually discuss our next breaking story of the day and do some technical analysis around Chainlink, often referred to as the missing link of the blockchain. I saw Chainlink, I think, back last year when a lot of alts as well as Bitcoin hit an all-time high. I believe Chainlink was like $50 plus. And right now it's like insane because last I checked, it was like $7.50 or in that ballpark. But let's discuss a potential breakout scenario for Chainlink rallying potentially 25% for this upcoming month of December. Here we go. Chainlink looks poised for a 25% price rally in the days leading up to its staking protocol launch. Based on several fundamental and technical factors, the staking feature will go live as version 0.1 in beta mode on December 6th, which is next week, comes as a part of the so-called Chainlink Economics 2.0 that focuses on boosting Link holders' rewards earning opportunities for helping increase the crypto economic security of Chainlink's Oracle services. Now, earlier, Chainlink users had to launch their own nodes to receive rewards and Link tokens, and the staking feature effectively opens new avenues for them to earn Link rewards that could, in theory, boost demand for the token. And additionally, demand for Link's parent platform, Chainlink, as an Oracle service provider should also increase. Now, David Goshstein, founder of blockchain-focused media company Goshstein Media, believes it could happen in the wake of the recent FTX collapse. The analyst highlighted how trades have been seeking more clarity on exchanges' reserves after the FTX fiasco, which can boost demand for Oracle services such as Chainlink and in turn push Link's price higher. Quoting David here on crypto Twitter, Link is definitely being overlooked. With everything that has happened with the new proof of reserves being pushed out there, Chainlink will be used to push that data out there. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. Now, Chainlink Labs launched this proof of reserves auditing service to exchanges November 10th. The speculations have helped Link's price rally in the recent days. Notably, Chainlink price gained 35.5% 8 days after bottoming out locally at $5.50, and is currently trading around $7.50 at the time of this recording, its highest level in the past 2 weeks. And the Link/USD pair now eyes further upside in the near term, price technicals suggest. Now, Link reclaimed this multi-week rising support trendline November 29th, 3 weeks after losing it in the wake of the FTX-led market sell-off. In doing so, Chainlink token also invalidated its prevailing ascending triangle breakdown set up towards $4. Thank God. Now it trades inside the pattern's range, eyeing a rally towards the upper trend line near $9.40, up 25% from the current price levels by the second week of December, as shown here in this chart. Now, Mikhail Vende-Pop, the market analyst, says he also anticipates Chainlink to hit or cross above $9, as he shared here on Twitter. Chainlink showing a ton of strength, also expecting continuation there to happen. If I didn't have along yet, but I do, then I'd be targeting for something like this, in which I'd be looking at $9 area. So there you have it. And moreover, a bullish continuation move above $9.40 resistance could have Link eyes $16 next, the ascending triangle breakout target. Send it and let's freaking go. And conversely, slipping below the triangle's lower trend line, again, risk bringing the breakdown set up towards that $4 mark back in play, down about 45% from the current prices. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding Chainlink? Let me know in the comments below. How many of you are currently bullish on that Oracle service? I have been bullish on Chainlink for many years now, and it is definitely one of my long-term hodls, but I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments right down below. And with that being shared, now let's discuss mass accumulation taking place. But guess what? Not by the whales, just ordinary investors. This says a lot and speaks volumes, so let's break it down. Some non-whale Bitcoin investors seem to have had zero issues with the crypto bear market, as well as fear, uncertainty, and doubt around the fall of FTX. According to on-chain data, smaller retail investors have turned increasingly bullish on Bitcoin and started accumulating more BTC despite the ongoing market crisis. According to a report released by the blockchain intelligence platform Glassnode on November 27th, according to the latest data, there are at least two types of retail Bitcoin investors that have been accumulating the record amount of Bitcoin following the FTX collapse. The first type of investors, classified as shrimps, defines entities or investors that hold less than one Bitcoin, currently at 16,500 at the time of this recording, while the second type are crabs. kind of funny, are in a category of addresses holding up to 10 BTC, which would be valued at $165,000 at the time of this recording. Now, shrimp investors have reportedly added 96,200 BTC, worth $1.6 billion to their portfolios, following the FTX crash in early November, which is an all-time high balance increase. This type of investor collectively holds 1.21 million BTC, or $20 billion at the time of this recording, which is equivalent to 6.3% of the current circulating supply of 19.2 million coins, according to Glassnode Analytics. And in the meantime, the crabs have bought up about 191,600 BTC, or 3.1 billion worth over the past 30 days, which is also a convincing all-time high, the analyst said. And according to the data, the new milestone has broken a previous high of Bitcoin accumulation recorded by crabs in July of 2022 at the peak of 126,000 BTC, worth $2 billion bought per month, which you can see here in this chart by Glassnode. Bitcoin's net position change for addresses holding up to 10 BTC. Now, while the crabs and shrimps have been accumulating record amounts of Bitcoin, the large investors have been selling. Interesting. Pay attention. According to Glassnode, Bitcoin whales have released about 6,500 BTC, or $107 million, to exchanges over the past month, which remains a very small portion of their total holdings of 6.3 million BTC, valued at $104 billion. Now, the behavior of shrimps and crabs seem to be interesting, given the latest industry events, with Scam Bankman-Fried's crypto exchange becoming subject of a massive industry scandal involving alleged fraud, as well as funds with being misappropriated. That's right. And on the other hand, some big Bitcoin investors have claimed to keep being bullish on Bitcoin despite this ongoing crisis, with the government of El Salvador starting to purchase Bitcoin on a daily basis starting from November 17th. And Twitter CEO Elon Musk also expressed confidence that Bitcoin will make it despite the current industry issues, but there might be a long crypto winter, he was quoted sharing. And in the aftermath of the FTX fallout, Bitcoin immediately lost about $6,000 of its value. So thank Scam Bankman-Fried, plummeting from around 21,000 to 16,000 in mid-November. The crypto has been slightly recovering over the past weeks and edging up no higher than $17,000. So there you frickin' have it. And now I want to dive into our next story of the day and discuss FTX reportedly used Alameda's bank accounts to process customer funds. As the scam goes deeper and deeper by the day, we're presented with new information. So here's the latest. The FTX contagion saga sees new revelations around the misconduct every other day, or virtually every day it feels like. And the latest one solidifies the collusion between the failed crypto exchange and its sister company, Alameda Research, from the very beginning. That's right, straight up fraud. FTX, like many other crypto exchanges, found it difficult to get a banking partner to process fiat transactions, as banks have been hesitant to tie up with crypto exchanges due to a lack of regulatory oversight. FTX overcame this problem by using its sister company's banking accounts to process transactions for the crypto exchange. That's right, the former CEO, Scam Bankman-Fried, confirmed in a convo with Vox that the exchange was using Alameda's bank accounts to wire customer deposits. That's illegal. Some customers were reportedly asked to wire their deposits through Alameda, which had a banking partnership with fintech bank Silvergate Capital. The collision between Alameda and FTX over the customer's funds later became the main point of failure. Scam Bankman-Fried had claimed that even though FTX never gambled user funds, it did loan them to Alameda, which is his own company, ultimately stealing your funds out of FTX and putting it to his sister company. The former CEO claimed that he thought Alameda had enough collateral to back the loans, which he was lying. Once again, don't believe this fraudster, but as reports have suggested, a majority of it was in the native FTX token, FTT, which is currently trading at $1.28, and I'm shocked that it still is even trading above $1, as you would expect it to collapse to zero by now. Now, more interesting scenarios. The claims of the former CEO of the failed crypto exchange regarding misuse of customer funds have varied from time to time. First, Scam Bankman-Fried claimed that the exchange and Alameda were independent entities, and later also assured that customer funds were safe, only to delete his tweet about the claim. Later, more fraudulent activity, proving he knew what was going on. And the allegations around misuse of banking loopholes arose last week when bankruptcy proceedings revealed that FTX owned a stake in a small rural bank from Washington state via its sister company Alameda, and at the time many alleged that the investment in the rural bank was done to bypass the requirements of getting a banking license. Obviously, and how many of you actually saw that picture on crypto Twitter of the bank? It looked like a hole in the wall. Now, the scope of wrongdoing in using Alameda's banking accounts for for FTX customer deposits depends on the arrangement between the bank and Alameda. In a statement to Bloomberg, Silvergate said that the bank doesn't comment on customers or their activities as a matter of firm policy. But there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding scam Bankman-Fried? Allegedly stealing all of this money, taking FTX users' funds in crypto and depositing it into his sister company, which was Alameda Research, ultimately stealing billions of dollars from virtually approximately 1 million retail investors from all around the world. And what are your thoughts with BitBoy down in the Bahamas, calling him out and trolling him, trying to get some info? BitBoy announced just the other day that he finally responded to him. He said he would unblock him, and in the coming weeks, they can have a conversation about what happened. It's going to be very enticing, to say the least. So I'll be keeping you in the loop with the latest as it is received. And with that being shared, now let's dive into our next story of the day. Speaking of FTX, BlockFi recently sued them as per a recent report. Let's break down this story. Newly bankrupt crypto lending platform BlockFi has filed a lawsuit against Scam Bankman-Fried's holding company, Emergent Fidelity Technologies, seeking his shares in Robinhood that were pledged as collateral earlier in November. The suit was filed November 28th in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court from the District in New Jersey, hours after BlockFi filed for a Chapter 11 bankruptcy in that same court. And as per the filing, BlockFi is demanding Emergent turnover collateral as part of a November 9th pledge agreement that saw Emergent agree to a payment schedule with BlockFi that it has allegedly failed to pay. BlockFi names the collateral as including certain shares of common stock. In May, Scam Bankman-Fried acquired a 7.6% stake in the online brokerage firm Robinhood, buying a total of $648 million in Robinhood shares through the Emergent Investment Company. Now, BlockFi is one of the latest firms to file for bankruptcy as a result of the collapse of the FTX crypto exchange. The crypto firm previously denied that a majority of its assets were held on FTX earlier in the month, but also acknowledged significant exposure to FTX. And in its bankruptcy filing, BlockFi stated it has assets between $1 billion and $10 billion, with liabilities in the same range, along with over 100,000 creditors. So there you have it. It's a very unfortunate situation, as BlockFi was bailed out by FTX, and FTX forced BlockFi to transfer all the customer funds to the now defunct exchange. So unfortunately, as a result, BlockFi was forced to file bankruptcy and are now suing FTX. How this will unravel, I'll keep you up to date as more news is shared. And with that being shared, now let's break down our next story of the day and discuss Bobby Lee, who is a true Bitcoin OG in the space. In fact, about a year ago, potentially a little longer, I had him on the show and he made some very bullish predictions, including Bitcoin reaching $250,000. But unfortunately, that prediction did not come into fruition. However, he was recently interviewed and he's now discussing a Bitcoin potential price bottom of $10,000. So let's break this down, shall we? Crypto industry veteran Bobby Lee, and shout out to Bobby Lee, says that the bad actors ignorant of regulation have to be expunged from the market. Preach. In a new interview with Bloomberg Markets Asia on Yahoo Finance, Lee, the co-founder of Hong Kong-based crypto exchange BTCC, reveals that the price he expects Bitcoin to bottom out at the end of the bear market. Quoting Bobby Lee, Bitcoin has crashed down to below $16,000. Now, previously, I have said that it will probably go to $15,000 given the magnitude of the FTX blowup. It could go down to $13,000 or even touch $10,000. That's going to be a very, very drastic crash. There has to be more bad news to come out. As we know in the market in the last week or so, we're looking at the troubles of Genesis, one of the prime brokers in the crypto market. So if something bad happens with that, or if something bad happens with the USDT stablecoin, then we can see much worse prices coming up in a few weeks. Now, Lee says, as a young industry, many kinks still need to be worked out, including lack of regulation and plenty of bad actors. He says it's a good thing that the FTX collapse happened now rather than a few years into the future. Quoting him here, the crypto market is cyclical, just like every other market, and these bad actors, and I'm talking about the FTX and these exchanges that are not run well because of lack of regulation and the regulation arbitrage, these bad actors have to be flushed out. This is a very, very young market. Crypto exchanges have been around for roughly 10 years, and for a global asset class, 10 years is just the blink of an eye. So we need more regulation globally, and it's going to take decades for this market to mature. We just finished our first decade. We are now in the second decade, and in a way, it's kind of a good thing that the FTX thing happened now as opposed to a few years later. You could argue it's already happened too late. It is already in billions of dollars in losses and stuff like that. That's right. I've heard rumors 30 billion in losses as a result of FTX and the contagion. But if the issues have not come up, and if I had kept rolling for another few years, it could have been worse in 4, 5, 10 years time. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto veteran that we are likely to see and touch $10,000 as the price floor for the King Crypto. But now let's actually dive into his prediction that he made back last year, a very bullish price prediction of peaking out at over $250,000. Quoting him here, I don't officially give financial advice, but personally, I am confident that the latter half of this year, Bitcoin will go back above $65,000. I think it'll peak out at over $250,000 later this year, which at the time of this prediction, Bitcoin was trading at $37,000. So he was representing a potential rise of 570% to reach Lee's year-end price target. And also quoting him here, I think Bitcoin will have its bull cycle every 3 or 4 years in the coming years. I expect Bitcoin to pass $1 million, $2 million easily in the next 10 to 15 years. In fact, the next cycle I predict it to be the year 2024, 2025. That's when Bitcoin will cross $500,000. It might even touch $1 million. Send it and let's fricking go. And also wrap up with this quote here. We have heard over the years that China has banned Bitcoin. Technically, that's not true. Even today, and this was back in July of 2021, Bitcoin is legal to own. You are allowed to buy it, sell it to your friends or strangers. However, it's just that you can't do it through a platform or business because all those businesses and all those platforms have been shut down. When Bitcoin goes to $500,000, $1 million, China might ban Bitcoin altogether when people are no longer allowed to hold it. And that's going to be a lot of selling pressure on Bitcoin at that time. I put the odds at 50-50. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding these Bobby Lee predictions from hitting a low of 10,000 to hitting a cycle peak potentially of 250,000? Obviously, that did not happen the previous year, but who knows what the future holds with the Bitcoin halving now just around the corner, approximately a year away. So let me know if you agree or disagree with the bullish predictions of Bobby Lee for multi-6-figure Bitcoin price and eventually 7 figures for the King Crypto. With that being shared, now let's dive into my favorite live segment of the show, which is the live Q&A, where you can literally ask me anything. And everyone in the chat, I want to give you all a shout out. I appreciate you tuning in live, of course. BitBud, good to see you. Michael Volkman, welcome. J-Dub the Laker, Matthew C., Dan Drummond, Mikey Likes It. We got the whole crew here in the building. That's what's up. Yes, Mikey Likes Us as fam. If you're already winning, get it. Get that knowledge. That's what's up. Good morning, boss. Good morning to you as well, KB. I appreciate you tuning in to the live show, of course. And BitBud, I appreciate you doing your moderating there in the live chat. That's right, holding down our boy. Appreciate all of the support. Barry says OneCoiners are super strong, and he's flexing that muscle. That's right. I love it that whole coiners are at an all-time high, and I encourage everyone here to become a whole coiner if you're not already. And what's better than that? If you're already a whole coiner, how do you trump that? Become a double coiner, triple coiner, quadruple coiner. Stack as many sats as you possibly can now because, hey, I look at this as the biggest blessing from the Satoshi gods, right? Because if you think about it, the price right now is cheaper than it was 5 years ago. So it's like going back in time. Could you imagine going back in time and purchasing Bitcoin back when it was $1 in 2011? Well, guess what? That's not going to happen, but at least God blessed us and Satoshi has blessed us to go back in time to 5 years ago and buy Bitcoin at a discounted price than where we were back in that moment of time, which I think is pretty cool. BitBud, Elon is doing so much that eventually Doge will explode. How many of you are bullish on Doge? Doge pumping another 10% for the day. BitBud says JV started early. Our fam is going to start coming in pretty soon. That's right. I kicked off today's show about an hour early because I am overdue for my haircut today at the barbershop. and I'm not skipping my haircut. So that's why I had to get started a little early. I have a long distance to travel to get that haircut. BitBud says, I've been here 50 plus years and have a home and an adult son with autism who receives a lot of help and a lot of programs he is involved in. Wrong time to move now. Nothing is selling. Matthew says, I understand BitBud. Word up. What else we got here? Renee, it's good to see you. Good morning, family. What up, JV? I like the predictions from 100,000 to 250,000 and 1 million. LOL. Dan says, how is Robinhood able to conduct business as an exchange for NASDAQ or NYSE when it also trades so many unregistered securities like Ethereum, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, etc.? Great question. I have no clue. All I know is the SEC is corrupt. And that FTX and Bankman-Fried was an inside job. Hopefully Texas or Florida would be good. Just need some time. Matthew says, yeah, our situation doesn't allow for it. AZ is becoming more and more. Whoa, the comments come in so fast, I lost track of where I was at. Now that Carrie Lake got elected, stolen from her, there is another place falling apart. You are so right. BitBuzz says, I would love to move to a warm state where there are conservative, beautiful women, not the ugly, liberal, strung out libertarian look. Oh boy. William says, anyone who uses both of their parents' last names, there's something wrong with them. Sam Bankman-Fried is goofy. 100%, no argument from me there. Also, one of the reasons I just never liked Sam, I can tell he was fake, first and foremost, but him also claiming to be a vegan. I've been a vegetarian for more than half my adult life. Since age 16, I've never eaten meat. I don't claim to be a vegan because I am not a vegan. I eat eggs, I eat cheese. Hey, I'm Italian, so I put cheese in my pockets if I have to, you know. Just keeping it real. But I have been a vegetarian sincerely since age 16. So when I saw Bankman-Fried and photos of him and he was just overweight and I just didn't buy into it whatsoever, and he gives vegans a bad rap. So don't judge vegans by scam Bankman-Fried because he's lying about his altruism. He's not an altruistic person. He was just using the philanthropy stance that Rockefeller used back with Standard Oil in the early 1900s by publicly giving away money so they can have a good perceived image in the public eye. But he's just scamming people left and right. And his parents were probably using him as a pawn, as both of Bankman-Fried's parents were compliance lawyers working with government and regulators and with the SEC. So it's insane. And I don't even know where else to go with that. But I guess the truth will always be revealed over time. So fear darkness as light penetrates the darkest of the dark. You feel me? And I pray and I hope that Bankman-Fried has to suffer consequences as a result of his fraudulent activity. I hope his parents had to suffer consequences. I hope the SEC has to suffer consequences. And I hope somehow they make the people whole, which is very unlikely considering the SEC is extremely corrupt. And it's almost as if they front as wanting to protect the retail investor, but we all know, as the case with the SEC versus Ripple Labs, they're not protecting retail investors, they're hurting them. 1 million retail investors got hurt from this debacle with FTX. And meanwhile, Bankman's scam and his parents are free in the Bahamas in their penthouse suites with over $130 million in real estate. If that doesn't irk you, I don't know what else does. And there's even rumors and reports of them laundering more real estate with customer funds in places like Dubai and other countries around the world, which I think Bankman-Fried is trying to hide and relocate to. But hopefully the Bahamian authorities do something about it, as it makes the entire country and government look soft. You feel me? If Bankman-Fried gets away with this, it makes the entire crypto industry look soft. You know what I mean? So there should be consequences when we have these bad actors, which need to get flushed down the toilet, as Bobby Lee said. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments right down below. And with that being shared, welcome Dragonflower says his girlfriend should go to jail just for her laugh. I appreciate the laugh, family. I love y'all. Mikey says, protect your meat, money, energy, attention, and time. protect your sats as well. Matthew says, if anything, this should make people not want regulation. Regulation was the problem. You make a great point. FTX was heavily regulated, but unfortunately the SEC turned the other cheek because they were making money hand over fist, and all the corrupt politicians were making money hand over fist. And you cannot imagine how many properties have been bought with these with the money from FTX. How many politicians have a new home? You know what I mean? So that's why I believe the mainstream media, better referred to as the lamestream media, is producing these puff pieces to protect him so they can protect their criminal enterprise and all the elites who were involved in this criminal activity. So I just pray that the truth comes to fruition. But I think the crypto community is smart enough to realize what really happened. Bankman-Fried didn't just get unlucky. He purposely scammed 1 million retail investors. And so there we are. I've never liked Bankman-Fried, says Bitcoin Cow. Nobody goes from zero to billionaire in 5 years without being corrupt. Facts. I don't buy his story. I think Bankman-Fried is probably a fake name that the banking cartels gave that family to play that particular role. Also, he graduated from MIT. Also, keep in mind, Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, graduated from MIT. And guess who Gary Gensler's professor was at MIT? It was Sam Bankman-Fried's girlfriend's, you know what I mean, father. So it's like incest. It's disgusting. You know what I mean? It's absolutely disgusting. BitBuzz says, great show, JV. Got to go get the fade taken care of, bro. You already know. Big week here. A lot's going on. Yeah, man. So it's very interesting. J-Dub says, love when JV starts ranting. Well, I appreciate that support. I only really rant during these live Q&As, which you have to attend live to check out, as the podcast recorded version for iTunes and Spotify, we delete that out just so we can keep it very content focused based. So more encouragement to get over here on cryptonewsalerts.net to support the pod. And the greatest thing you can do to help support the show is smash that like button as if it's Sam Bankman-Fried's face himself, and make sure to turn on all notifications, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and drop a comment, not just in the live chat, but a comment in the main comment section, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, and I greatly appreciate that level of support. Dan says, if you have been in Bitcoin or crypto longer than a month and still leave your coins on an exchange, I can't feel bad for you when it fails. You know better by now. You make a great point. Not your keys, not your cheese. It doesn't matter how much trust you have with an exchange. Never self-custody your crypto on the exchange, because it's not really your crypto. Whoever holds the private keys controls the crypto. So if you're self-custodying your crypto on an exchange such as Binance or Coinbase, guess who owns that crypto? Binance or Coinbase. Just like FTX owned that crypto, and when they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy, they stole your crypto, and that's with the CEO of the company at the time, Scam Bankman-Fried, coming out saying, don't worry, user funds are safe on FTX US, you don't need to worry. Everyone's funds are safe. Within 24 hours, Chapter 11 bankruptcy, withdrawals get halted. No one can withdraw their funds. You got scammed. You know what I mean? And I feel the same way. At this point, with all the warnings, I've been preaching this literally every day here on the show for the past 3 years, like 1,118 episodes. Self-custody your crypto, right? If you care about your cryptocurrency, if you're a long-term hodler, do not give your crypto to any of these bad actors, any of these regulated exchanges. It doesn't matter, because the SEC is corrupt. So what good is that level of regulation? Also, Satoshi gave us the greatest gift for humanity, which is Bitcoin. And the beauty of it, it's peer-to-peer money. You don't need a third party. You don't need an exchange or, a trusted vendor. You can just do what it do. That's the beauty. So why give the greatest, most pristine asset in the world, Bitcoin, to a third party when it was created so you didn't need to rely on a third party? You know what I mean? So what's the purpose? The only reason to use crypto on an exchange is if you're actively trading and making exchanges. And then as soon as the exchange is complete and finito, you should send your crypto immediately back to your cold storage wallet. To me, That makes the most sense. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And with that being shared, now let's break down the big finish, a quick recap of everything we discussed here in today's show. We discussed Bitcoin shrugging off the BlockFi and China protests as the Bitcoin price holds strong at that $16,000 support. We also discussed the latest technical analysis for Chainlink, eyeing a 25% rally ahead of Link staking launch in December, which is next week around the corner. Also, in today's show, we discussed non-whale Bitcoin investors breaking new Bitcoin accumulation record, as well as whole coiners hitting a new all-time high. Also in today's show, we discussed FTX reportedly used Alameda's bank accounts to process customer funds, as well as BlockFi is now suing FTX scam Bankman-Fried over shares in Robinhood. And we also discussed crypto OG Bobby Lee revealing his Bitcoin price floor of $10,000 for the King Crypto, and says that bad actors of the industry should be flushed out. Down the toilet they go. And we also discussed his throwback $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction, as well as his discussion of Bitcoin eventually hitting $1 million or even $5 million per coin. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments.